This is 91.3 FM, WCW in Worcester, Massachusetts, Dr. Chris Radio of Horror program. And tonight on Radio of Horror, we have a returning guest who was on the show with us back in 2013, talking a little bit about her horror career, which has grown since then. We have Andie Noir coming on the show with us, also known, if you look up on IMDb, is Andrea Collins. Thank you for coming on the show with us, Andie.
Thank you for having me.
So Andie Noir is your stage name, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. So your burlesque stage name.
It sounds like it, doesn't it?
You could do like a bloody burlesque type show. I'm sure you'd get a lot of hits.
Well, I'm doing pole dancing right now. Or
Oh my.
Fitness.
Really?
So many people jump to conclusions. They're like, I'm a pole dancer. And yeah, and they kind of want you to have names. And so my name kind of was already there and established, and they just love it.
Are you doing pole dancing for a movie or something?
No, this is just something I got into for fitness.
Oh, for exercise. Yeah, I heard that's a big exercise thing to do pole dancing.
But it's a great thing to have on my resume because you never know when they might need somebody in a film that can pole dance and be a stripper or burlesque.
And that works a lot of your upper torso and upper arms and stuff like that too. So it's a good way to get it well in shape.
Oh yeah. And then I also do like the aerial work too, like Cirque du Soleil.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. It's something different.
They have that really weird Circus delay of Avatar being played right now, which is like, what the hell? Really? Avatar Circus delay?
Oh, I don't know if I'd like that.
No, I don't like it at all. It just doesn't sound fantastic. This is like when Circus Delay, I think it was like back in 2008 or 2009, Circus Delay did the Super Bowl halftime show. And it's like, those two things do not go together.
No, those two things that go together. Just like I think Coldplay doing the halftime show this year doesn't go together.
Oh my God. What have you been up to since 2013?
Oh, let's see. Well, I just got done for something recent with a movie called Belly Timber.
Belly?
And we just wrapped it, but it won't come out till later in 2016 because, of course, it's in editing and sound. And I think we might have a few pickups to do in the spring just for continuity. But it's been a really awesome ride with this project because it's set in the 1820s. And so to do a period piece and be Scottish has really been a lot of fun, and wearing the costumes and being a cannibal. I mean, you can't go wrong with being a cannibal.
Now, are you a natural omnivore? So does being cannibal bother you?
Oh, I loved it. But the only thing is that there's one scene where me and my on-screen husband have to eat like brains.
Uh-huh.
And they got pig brains straight from the butcher. And I didn't realize that we were going to actually eat them. And it's like our wedding cake. Like I put it in his mouth and he's putting some in my mouth. And we both just kind of looked at each other and chewed probably maybe twice. And then they say cut and we'd spit it out. And there'd be somebody there to let's gargle with water. We had to do like 3 takes of that.
That sounds disgusting.
It was. It was so disgusting. It tasted like metallic scrambled eggs.
That's gross.
Yeah. That's what I'll do. That's what I'll do as an actress. I put myself out there.
Now there was a guest I had on a couple months ago, and you can go onto my Radio of Horror YouTube page where this interview will be played. For anyone tuning into WCW right now, and anyone who's not able to check it out, you're probably listening on YouTube, and you can check out my interview with Mistress Seneca, and she talks about how when she used to be a mortician, she would have fantasies of the dead, and she's actually has a necrophilia fetish.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
See, my daytime job is I work at organ and tissue bank.
Oh, cool.
So all day long, all I do is package people's body parts and cut them up.
You will remember to wash your hands before you eat anything now, won't you?
I'm that person. You know, in the movies, especially horror movies, you see the guy who puts the sandwich on the dead body and he's just talking away and licking his fingers. That's totally me.
Like in Jason Goes to Hell, the mortician does that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like, I'm sitting there eating my oatmeal or having lunch, and there's just body parts on my table.
I finally found your pictures of. I think I actually had seen these of the you wrapped in the plastic, bloody, completely naked.
Yes.
Yes.
It was a good time.
It looks like it's really sticky and dry in some parts, and that's probably not fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely it's some like I think I stuck to everything. And since it was an abandoned warehouse, there's glass, there's dirt, there was everything in there. And trying to be so careful, but you're so slippery and you're
Hmm.
sticky. It was that was the only part about it that I didn't like. But when you're modeling, they put you I think people don't understand when you're a model, it's not all glamour and you're so beautiful and all that. It's actually tough.
But
It's a lot you go through, your body and everything.
but Andy, you are so beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Um,
Beautiful even in plastic and blood.
oh my God, no! It's so much more of a turn on when you're half naked and covered in blood. Much more of a turn on.
Well, I love the picture where it looks like I killed myself.
Yeah, I
So,
noticed that. Is that you as well on the floor?
yes,
Okay, so
yes,
you're standing above you.
yes. We did like like a shot where he could like Photoshop me in there like
Uh
that.
huh.
And so we had to like make sure it was just perfect how I was laying and where I was standing. But I love it because in my head, I came up with the idea that we're all our own murderers and we're all our own victims sometimes, and how we can self destruct if we let ourselves go.
So when does Belly Timber come out?
Well, like I was saying, like it's gonna be 2016, but I think it will probably be in the fall of 2016, to be honest, just because there is so much to be done on it where they really want to perfect this. This has been their baby, the writers and the producer's baby for so long, and there's actually a book written based on the movie now.
There is.
Yes, and John Russo, who did Night of the Living Dead, is one of the writers of it.
The company that's making it is called Horror Wasteland Pictures International. I've never heard of them.
And they just came out with a couple of movies like All Sinners Night and The Boogeyman. And it's a company out of Indiana. They're located in Indianapolis, actually. But they were great to work for. And the director and the cameraman, Bobby Easley, was so amazing to us. And especially, it's nice to have a director who actually listens to his actors and what input that we have. You want to make sure, especially the writers, that they see their dream come true on screen. But it's also nice that they're willing to listen to us if there's any little thing that might help a scene.
Do you find yourself doing more modeling than acting?
That's a funny question. Yes, especially since we talked. I think 2014 and 2015, I've done so many more photo shoots than movies. It seems like I'm being approached by photographers. Like I was doing like two photo shoots a month almost. Whereas with filming, it's like you do one movie and that can last you for 6 months or whatnot. But right now, I don't have any filming projects in the works right now, but I've already had two photographers come to me with projects they want to do, some photo shoots. So, and with me, with the photo shoots, instead of people think like high glamour and whatnot, it's more the horror base, the horror photography, stuff that most photographers are scared to do with certain people, but they want to push their limits because I have no qualms about getting naked and getting in blood, of course, like you see, or doing some crazy stuff like posing with the devil naked and things like that.
What's the limit of what you'll do?
Well, I'm not gonna like let someone pee on me or anything like that.
No, 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 no. Nothing pornographic, of course. But in terms of photography and stuff, what is something you wouldn't do?
As far as photography goes,
Now, have you ever thought would you ever do like any type of like torture pictures,
oh
any type
yeah,
of
oh
fetish
yeah,
pictures,
oh yeah,
anything where you're getting mutilated, mauled, anything where you're tied up, even if it's not like anything showing any type of penetration, but you're still
right.
being like tied, anything like BDSM like.
Oh yeah, I would definitely do it in a heartbeat. I have, yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun actually.
Has anyone approached you about it or?
No, and it kind of shocks me because I was in Vegas not for a Halloween thing a couple of years ago, and it was the fetish ball. Well, they had me on stage getting whipped for everybody to watch,
Uh-huh.
and I totally loved it. It was something exciting about how people watching you getting whipped, and so I'd love to do a photo shoot like that.
There's a in Massachusetts area, New England, but I can say Massachusetts for myself because I'm kind of involved in I have without going into too much detail, fetish type tastes and things. And there's a lot, and I see a lot of times photographers looking for models to, willing to, do a fetish photo shoot as long as it's obviously not pornographic, but it's still artistic. It's
Right.
it's being tied up. It's having hot wax poured on them. It's being
Yeah.
it's something obviously that's still artistic, but still doesn't require you to have sex with somebody. So.
Yeah, I think people don't understand. I mean, everybody has fetishes. I mean, whether or not yours is extreme or not, every one of us has one. And when you do photography or even movies like this, there's something beautiful. If a photographer can get just the right shot,
Uh huh.
you could actually, I mean, it would be something that everybody can appreciate, I
I mean,
guess.
I've done one where we've had a woman who was handcuffed above her head, and we had two there was another person above her who was just who basically we all the way down to the nut to the bottom of the candle was just dripping hot wax on her,
Yeah.
and she
That,
was completely naked too. Um,
that was
so
great.
and then you know what I mean. It was just kind of like sped up photos of her like writhing and writhing in pain or whatever as the wax just continues to drip on her. And then we'll take a break every like 10 minutes so we show because she's able to stand on her feet. She's not on her tippy
Right,
toes,
right, right,
but
right.
still her arms are above her head and everything.
I
But
think
we
with that stuff too, like even in a movie, it's nice to see a true reaction.
Yeah. And we're not having the girls kiss. We're not having them do anything. We're not having touch each other inappropriately. I mean, she
Right.
had like, she asked, do you want me to do it? Do you want to do anything else or whatever? Add to the scene. And I was like, well, we could throw some nipple clamps on. And she's like, that'd be fantastic. Why don't we do that? You know.
See?
So we got her nipples hard, and then we put some nipple clamps on her.
See, if you go into anything, the movies or the photography, you gotta go balls to the wall. You gotta put your whole stuff into it. That's what I say.
And then of course I see some great they're not artistic, but they're like definitely horrific of like, someone like having their eyeballs pulled out or, you know what I
Ugh.
mean, their face being pulled off or whatever. And it's a really great appliances that look like their face was actually pulled off. Or I've seen one where, she reached up and she pulled down her, and it's this great appliance of fake skin. She's pulling her skin off down all the way past her breasts. So she
Oh, that's
looks like
cool.
Frank from Hellraiser.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a
Yeah,
great.
you know what I mean. And then she's got like she's holding up the front. It's just basically just I think they did the appliance just past her breast, and then
Right.
she's got the appliance of her fake skin being held out with her boobs on it, and then she's got her face, and then her chest is just completely exposed of the bone, skin, and marrow.
Oh, that's awesome.
It is, and it's like again, it's very Clive Barker Hellraiser like, which has also always been very you know,
Sexual.
yeah, very sexual, very sadomasochistic.
Yes. I
Uh,
mean, if anybody watch, I mean, Hellraiser is one of my very favorite movies, and you definitely see his taste, his fetishes. I mean, all the leather and the knives, and it's all about flesh.
yeah. Did you read the Scarlet Gospels, which is the newest book?
I do not have the newest one yet, but I have all of his other ones, and I have some of the graphic novels.
You should check out the Scarlet Gospel. It just came out. It's the sequel to the Hellbound Heart.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm definitely going to check that out. I need it for my collection.
Did you have a chance to see Star Wars?
Oh, yeah, I went opening night.
Oh, you did. What did you think of it?
I loved it. I'm going again this week.
Did you see Krampus,
So,
which was another big favorite of mine this month?
I have not got to see it yet, actually. I was going to go see it, and everybody backed out on me, and I was going to go alone, and then I was like, well, I'm going to go Star Wars anyway.
Why
So
don't you
I'm
grab
going
your
to go.
girlfriends? Why don't you grab your boyfriend? Go see Krampus.
Is it even still out?
It is. Your girlfriends aren't big horror fans?
They are, some of them, but everybody's life gets so, like, hectic. Like we were saying, everybody's so busy now, you know.
Is your boyfriend a big horror fan?
He is. He really is. So, but not the like gore porn, nothing that's
This
cross.
isn't very gory. This was a PG-13 horror movie.
Oh, I know. I'm
And
just saying.
it was from the creators of Trick or Treat.
I know. I love Trick or Treat.
Trick or Treat is amazing, and this guy shows that it's the same style. You know what I mean? He also wrote X-Men 1 and 2 and Superman Returns.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Michael Dougherty is great, and there's a great graphic novel out called Krampus: Shadow of Saint Nicholas.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah,
I didn't even know. I mean, I've known about the legend forever. It's so great that it's becoming more to the public.
definitely.
Like, people are realizing who he is and all.
Is there any horror movies that you have seen that you recommend?
See, any horror movies lately that I've seen that I recommend? I've been so stuck watching true crime and like all these documentaries here lately that my mind's just blown away because there hasn't been much on Netflix that I've really enjoyed. There was one named, I think, Christie. It has one of the girls from Twilight in it, though, Ashley Greene. And that was pretty good. I watched it the other day.
Twilight.
And I liked her being like the bad guy. That was nice, and it was kind of creepy. And then, what else have I seen lately? I've been on such a more of the classics than anything. Like,
Did you hear they're remaking The Bride of Frankenstein?
oh no,
Yep.
no,
My only thing is though is that if they remake it, do it differently. Like maybe have the bride in there more than just the ending of the movie.
right? That would be nice.
Have you seen Penny Dreadful
The Penny Dreadful?
TV series?
Yes, I really like it.
Billie Piper became the Bride of Frankenstein on that show.
That's right.
Yeah, definitely.
I definitely think that show's done really well with all the different monsters and the different stories. That's done really, really well.
Absolutely. Are you going to be at any conventions coming up in the next several months?
I am. In February, I will be at Days of the Dead in Atlanta.
Awesome. Fantastic.
Almost every Days of the Dead, you can be pretty sure I'm going to be there.
Well, that's a convention I've always been meaning to come out to, just funds and stuff, and I just bought a new car, so that's kind of delayed. And I have a friend who wants me to come out to Hawaii, so I got to save for that.
Oh, well, I would say for that, too. That's nice.
Yeah, she lives in Hawaii, and so it's a kind of like free stay there, just get your butt out here kind of thing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Nice.
So definitely. What are you going to be promoting at Days of the Dead?
I'm going to be promoting, of course, Belly Timber besides myself, but I'll be there with all of that gang because the production crew and all of them are coming out, and we're basically just pushing it as much as possible.
Cool. So. Awesome. Well, Andie, why don't you plug your social media for us?
All right. Well, you can find me on Facebook under Andie Noir. I have a public profile page, and also I have a regular profile. I always tell people I think I have met my limit on my regular profile, so you can always go to the like page. And also, I'm on Twitter, Andie Noir. You can always find me on Instagram, but on there, I'm using Andie Collins, my real last name. I think that's Tumblr. I am on Tumblr, and it's under Andie Noir, and not that many people know about that. I've not made that really public till now, so.
Cool. And you have a great, what do you call it, reel clip on YouTube?
I do. People can go to YouTube and look Andie Noir up, or if you want, you can use my real name, Andrea Collins, and you can see my demo reel.
Demo reel, that's the name of it, demo reel. Cool. Well, thank you again so much, Andie, for coming on the show with us, and please, please, please come out to New England area in the springtime.
I definitely will. I need to. That sounds like so much fun. Salem and then my favorite HP. I mean, who cannot love him?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So, thank you.
No problem. And I hope you have a happy New Year.
You too. I'm going to be in Vegas.
Fantastic.
Hopefully what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.